Hey there, I'm AnthonyRomano, and this video is going to give you some amazing tips for how to stick to keto. Now, I've been doing keto for about 9 years at this point, so I know how to help somebody stick to keto. And it oftentimes comes down to a few simple mistakes that you don't want to be making. So I'm going to explain those in this video, and I encourage you to stay all the way to the end, because if you do, you're going to learn absolutely everything about how to make keto sustainable and balanced. On that note, if you can like the video, that's going to make YouTube show my videos to more people, and that's all you have to do to help me grow my page. Let's get into this. So, how do you stick to keto? Well, for starters, the simple mistake that most people make, or the first one, is that you are consuming hidden sugars, so keto kryptonite, as I like to call it. This is often found in even foods that you wouldn't expect to have carbohydrate, and they'll just say, oh, 1 or 2 grams or 3 grams of carb, right? And you'll think, oh, this is negligible, and somebody will tell you that, oh, just use net carbs. That's how you know if the food is keto friendly. Net carbs is not how you know if a food is keto friendly, because it's all about the speed of digestion of that sugar. If it's very quick sugar, like maltodextrin or something that's going to be added into, the slices of honey smoked ham you got, then that's going to raise your blood sugar and make you, first of all, break out of ketosis, but it's also going to make you have elevated blood sugar and more cravings because of that. So it's going to create this volatility in your blood sugar, and that's ultimately what drives most of your appetite and basically the desire to break out of ketosis. Now keep in mind, you don't have to be in the highest depths of ketosis. You don't have to be eating no protein, only fat. Okay, all you have to do is cut out carbohydrates, which is the crucial point that most people forget here. That's all that's required for keto, and if you're not eating anything, right, fasting, you're in deeper ketosis than you would be by eating nutritional ketogenic diet. So let's get into the next tip here. First of all, you don't want to be eating hidden sugars, right? And you got to be aware that most things do have hidden sugars, and they're listed on the label, and those will be things like even MSG or added kryptonite, okay? If you want to learn fully about added kryptonite, I highly encourage you to get the Keto Shred program, which is on my website. It's the best fat loss tactics for keto that I've written over almost a decade of keto dieting and coaching. So the next thing is, most people, the other reason why they'll end up having a hard time sticking to keto is because of the food selection. Now keep in mind, you do not have to be dumping lard on everything you're eating and eating low protein. Most of the time people, this section is on low protein, okay? But I have another tip here that's going to really help you out getting some desserts and sweets in. But if you are eating very low protein, you are going to artificially crank up your body's hunger. Because if you don't get enough protein in, your body's going to jack up your hunger hormones, to make things simple here, because protein is necessary. It's primary in Greek, right? That's what it means. So when we're talking about appetite and protein, if you are eating very low protein, your body's saying, holy shit, let's just get some protein in. So it makes you more hungry, so you're more likely to go and get food. This is an evolutionary survival technique that basically is there for a reason. So you need to make sure you're eating enough protein, and at the lowest, it should be 20%, which is what's commonly recommended as the standard ketogenic diet. But ultimately, that's kind of the low end, and for a lot of people, if you're athletic, you want to push higher to 30% protein, especially because your calories and total amount of protein you're eating is more important than the relative amount. Think about that, okay? If you're eating 30% protein at like 1,000 calories a day, that's not a lot of protein. How is that going to kick you out of ketosis? Ketosis is all about the absence of carbohydrates. Now, next tip is on getting sweets. So that's another reason why people will end up, getting these cravings for certain foods, because they don't feel they can experience sweetness, okay? Besides the fact that I will tell you, I not only have recipes on my page that will show you some amazing sweets, like my Keto Reese Cups. Also, the recipes are in Keto Shred program. My keto pancakes, the digestive pancake. There's a lot of great recipes out there from people even besides me, because I'm not acting like I'm the Gordon Ramsay of cooking here, okay? But there's a lot of great resources, including my own, on how to get sweet taste, because as long as you can hit every single taste, flavor that you have a preference for, then there's really no problem adhering to ketogenic dieting. Especially because after you get adapted, right? This is the big key foundation here. After you do keto for a month, what's going to happen is, not only are you going to be better at burning fat, you're going to feel a lot better, you're going to stop wasting ketones, right? But you are also going to develop more sensitivity in your palate. So things like, sweets that are ketogenic, or using, monk fruit sweetening, right? Instead of basically actual fruit sweetening, right? they're going to start to taste very delicious to you, and dark chocolate or something like that is going to taste far more palatable for you because you now have a higher sensitivity to it because you haven't been saturating your body with sugar all the time. So remember, the key to keto is cutting out the sugar. That is the foundation here. And as long as you can hit every single taste you have a desire for, there's really no problem. Even simple snacks, like what I would do is, back in the day, you know, when I was like 14 starting keto, I would do Greek yogurt with a little bit of whey protein, and then I would add, and the flavor of the whey protein would be good. You throw in a little bit of sour cream if you're going for higher fat that day. And, you know, from there, you could throw in a little bit of almond butter if you're also going for the higher fats. Natural almond butter, of course, because most nut butters are just chocked full of hydrogenated oils, and you got to be careful of those. But there's a lot of ways you can make these delicious sweets, and I highly encourage you to look at my recipes and other people's recipes out there, because that's going to allow you to hit every single taste that you're desiring. So on that note, those are basically the 3 most common reasons why people will start to, you know, devoid stray from keto. But there's one more huge tip here, and that's why I told you to stay to the end of the video, because another tip you have to do practically is you have to make sure you get enough salt. Okay, people, this is common keto advice, right? But it's foundational. And the longer you do keto, the more you're going to realize this. It's taken me years to really realize how foundational keto was in a coaching, or salt was in a coaching context. Because if you need to be getting about 5,000 milligrams of sodium per day in order to prevent certain cravings. Why? As I've said before, to make things simple, your body basically has 2 main dietary methods of retaining water and hydrating yourself. This is either through carbohydrate or it's going to be through salt, so sodium. And if you are low in one, you're going to want more of the other. Most hypertension issues that people will tell you about are from the high combination of both salt and sugar, not just one or the other. So you don't have to worry about salting your food. You crave salt for a reason, okay? And that reason is because if you are low in salt, not only is salt going to taste far better to you and you're going to be more inclined to seek it out, but if you are low in salt, your body's going to artificially crank up your insulin so that you get not only retain more water and stop wasting as much sodium, but you are going to be hungrier. Your appetite is going to be more volatile, again, as this sort of evolutionary mechanism to get you to hydrate yourself, okay? So similar rationale to the sort of protein issue, but that is the other tip right there as well. You want to get about 5,000 milligrams of sodium. Don't do it all at once, because if you do, you're going to shit yourself from having too many electrolytes at once. And on that note, you always want to try to supplement with some potassium chloride, so potassium salt, at the same time you have sodium, right? Just add a little bit onto your food, but I have protocols listed with exact doses in other videos and in the Keto Shred program. So, also do not rely on potassium capsules. They're not really as effective for this purpose. They're more so effective for eliminating calcium from urine, and gel capsules are just going to mess up your stomach. So just stick to the potassium chloride in salt form. I have links to most of these products in the description. On that note, if you want to get even deeper than this, I offer consultations and coaching, and the type of coaching I offer is 24/7. So we are in communication all day long, and I send a lot of voice messages after we have a consultation for free to see if this is something you actually want to do and if it would be worth it for both of us. So on that note, I also have consultations you can book right now on my website, romanoketo.com, and I highly encourage you to get the Keto Shred program if you really just want to go straight to the promised land and have all of the best keto fat burning tactics at your fingertips. That is it for this video. Follow me on Instagram as well. Like it and subscribe, and leave me some comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. I'm Anthony Romano. Peace.